Connecting from Toyota Center, I'm Ed Cohen with the former Chicago Bulls guard Jay Williams. And Jay, yes, we are ready for takeoff.
And Ed, the Rockets are flying high. If they keep feeding the beard or feeding the streets, either way, this is a lethal backcourt.
It's been a launching pad for threes and so much more. Let's get ready for the tip. Jay, the Thunder have loads of talent, but right now they're facing a team that is locked in and playing so well together.
Ed, there's no doubt that when OKC plays at its best, they can beat anybody in the NBA. But I think this team is really struggling defensively. Whenever you lose the likes of Corey Brewer and Andre Roberson, your best perimeter defender, that is not the key to success to OKC stopping somebody.
Short jumper off the mark. To Anthony. Shot from the lane won't go. Westbrook into the front court. He'll run the offense. Straight down the middle of the lane. Way to punch it home. The inner beast of Westbrook. Sheer determination.
I don't think anybody got the license plate on not hit and run. And there is no one, I repeat, no one in the game of basketball with the first step in the explosion of Russell Westbrook.
Russ at the controls. Nothing going here on that drive. Oh, Russell Westbrook. 2 for 2. That's what you want. Jay, if you're Russell Westbrook, how do you take on the responsibility of getting them over the hump?
You have to own it. And that starts with owning the fact that, yes, you were the first player in the history of the game to average a triple-double back-to-back years, but that did not equate to your team being successful. Sometimes less is more. And he has to make sure that he's surrounded and allowing the players he's surrounded with to help him get to the next level.
Paul buries it on the catch and shoot. He has that sixth sense that you just can't teach.
He's like a traffic cop, and he's navigating a myriad of bodies coming his way. And there's a smaller innuendo of the game that nobody talks about. When he makes a great pass, he'll tell the offensive player, shoot it, go up, dunk it. He will direct you and lead you to success.
Adams here against Harden. And a chance coming up at the line.
Guys like Gary Payton would always take ones early like this all the time. Number one, to see if they'll get caught. And number two, to leave a little mark on you to remind you that they'll be on you all game long.
Knocks down the first.
Good shot.
He makes them both. Who left in Houston? Luc Mbah a Moute to the Clippers, Trevor Ariza to Phoenix. So, Jay, how do the Rockets adapt without two key wing defenders this year?
Well, other guys need to step up. I think you need to see P.J. Tucker step up. Gerald Green, we all know how explosive he is offensively, but he needs to make that applicable to the defensive end. Michael Carter-Williams is another big acquisition. He's a bigger guard who can use his length to deter shots. And also another kid, Markel Brown. He played at Oklahoma State, extremely athletic, explosive on the perimeter. If these guys can do it by committee, that might be enough to eclipse the Golden State Warriors.
To Harden, beyond the arc for three. He engulfed him that time.
Just because you're an elite shooter doesn't mean you need to shoot the ball every possession. Maybe give a head fake, crack into the defender, get to the free throw line, see the ball go in the hole.
To Capella. Missed a wide open look. It's Russ at the controls. Nothing going here on that drive. Russell Westbrook guarded by CP3. And he connects at the line. We have both squads set to make some moves right now. Westbrook. Rebound taken in by Paul. Harden in possession. Trailing by 4. And he'll go to the foul line.
That's actually not a bad move at all. You're applying more pressure on him by sending him to the line.
Nene at the line for 2 shots. For his career, 66%. And he connects on the first free throw.
Good shot, money. Good shot, money.
Goes 2 for 2. To Westbrook. A shot rejected by Capella.
Just erasing mistakes left and right.
Now pass taken away by the Thunder. Gets it in the right corner. From the painted area, won't go down.
And a lot of times in this league, teams take days off. But if this defense keeps maintaining that style of pace defensively, this is going to be a dogfight.
Oklahoma City ball. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
Ed, you ever bail out of something at the last second? That's what I saw right there from the defender. We call that no man's land. They weren't really committed to getting out of the way, committing a hard foul, or taking the brunt of the contact.
Russell Westbrook trying to cash in on a 3-point play. A career 81% free throw shooter. Oh, he can't connect. Oh, good defense there. Thunder with the steal. Westbrook. There will be no shortage of shots for Carmelo Anthony and Mike D'Antoni's offense, Jay. Why is it a good fit for Melo in Houston?
Well, a couple of things. Number one, if there's one guy you need to trust, his name is Daryl Morey. And the Houston Rockets organization is a stat-driven culture. So he understands at this juncture where Carmelo Anthony is in his relationship to his career. Oh! Out there looking like the Kimbe Mutombo.
Took it right to him, and the defender was ready. It's Paul for 2. The follow won't go either. It's rejected by Noel.
Don't stare him down like that afterwards.
He made his first effort, but not that time. To Westbrook. That's blocked by Nene. They've got it now. Gordon with it. All tied up, 13 apiece. Capella, deep 2 there, won't go. Westbrook with the basketball. Looking to make something happen. Slam dunk, Russell Westbrook. Jay, this is getting scary fast.
If you're the defense, you have to deny him the ball. Maybe throw a box and one. Maybe throw a zone. Maybe even throw the kitchen sink because he's putting on a show in the first quarter.
And he finishes at the rim. .20-footer at the buzzer. That ends the first quarter. This game is all tied up. A tight ball game thus far. 15 all as we start the second quarter. Paul George.
Green, get over, get over.
And scores on a nifty dance to the basket.
I could see the beads of sweat forming when he had to put the ball on the ground there. You still got it, though.
To Carter Williams. Fires the 3. Good contest. No good for Carter Williams. Schroeder. Oh, they call the foul.
That's just a blatant foul. Maybe he's trying to make a statement.
George. Schroeder guarded by Michael Carter-Williams. Going to launch beyond the arc, and he can't get it to go down. It's no good. Tucker. And that'll get out of bounds. Last touch by the Thunder. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. High degree of difficulty. Michael Carter-Williams hits the trifecta.
Don't seem shocked. This is how the game is played these days. Shooting a three is like shooting a layup.
George, defended by Eric Gordon. To Schroeder. Not that time.
And you have to remember that your hand is part of the ball. There wasn't enough contact on that play for the refs to blow the whistle.
The shot blocked by Grant.
That's why a rim protector is a necessity in this game.
Layup goes down. Well done.
Ooh, cool, calm, and collective. The 3 C's. His handles are effortless.
Paul George. Deep left corner. Down low, Noel. Rises for the slam. Now the Rockets will use a timeout as they'll talk things over in a one-point basketball game. Jay, last year, Rockets 65-17. Good for #1 record in the West. What's going to be good enough this year for the Rockets to get to the NBA Finals?
Well, you need CP3 to be healthy. If he's healthy, you can make an argument that the Rockets may have won the Western Conference Finals against the Golden State Warriors. But also, I think James Harden needs to continue to build on his play in the playoffs in particular. Everybody knows about how great he was during the regular season. But those last 6 games against the Golden State Warriors, he really struggled from the three-point line. He shot 37% during the regular season. He shot 20% in the Western Conference Finals.
To Paul George. Trying to cash in. Oh, straight down the middle. 4-2. He's endured a major injury. He's had a change of address. But you look at Paul George, he is in the prime years of his career.
And there's no doubt about it. This entire offseason, if I were Paul George, I would think about how do I constantly channel my self-assigned alter ego. Playoff P needs to step up to the court every single day and bring that energy.
Tough-looking shot there. Still gets it to go down.
Strong finish. That's what you need, regardless of contact, focusing on the rim.
Adams, defended by Melo. Westbrook to the basket, but his shot won't fall. Another shot stays out. Converts in the paint. Nice finish at the rim.
That's what I'm talking about, Ed. It's that simple. Put the ball in the bucket.
Westbrook with it. Leads just a point to George. 4-3. Paul George can't get that one to go. Defense all over him.
Shooters shoot. Period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep doing what you're doing with that superior confidence.
Changes coming from both sides right now. Michael Carter-Williams at the line for a chance at a three-point play. A career 70% free throw shooter. Free throw up and good. Gives him a 2-point lead. Russ at the controls. To Paul George. It's rejected by Tucker. And that'll get out of bounds. Last touch by the Thunder. Coach is going to shift gears and adjust his matchups. Paul across the timeline. Leads a bucket. Has a chance. Gordon shot, no good.
The contest was good, but you being a nuisance was great. Continue to be that gnat that no matter how many times you swing at it, it never goes away.
Paul guarded by Russell Westbrook to P.J. Tucker. Out of bounds the call off P.J. Tucker. Russell Westbrook guarded by CP3. Knocked loose. Rockets have it.
When it's a tight game, those missed opportunities on the road make it tough.
Shot from the lane won't go.
I agree, I thought there was a foul, but also it's all about your approach. You can't come down the lane and jump off one leg. It's called a power lift. Go off two legs and expect the contact.
Another follow, no good. Nice follow-up on the dunk there. Jay, I'm surprised he had a chance to wrap him up.
Well, you're not the only one surprised. This guy is not a good free throw shooter. You never let him have an easy bucket. If anything, make him earn it at the charity stripe.
Too much contact, and free throws coming.
Smart play to rip through the extended arm of the defender. That will get you to the free throw line every time.
First one, count it. And gets both to drop at the line. OKC ball.
Hey, lock up, lock up.
Just inside the arc, at the buzzer. So we head to intermission all tied up in what's been a tight one from the start. Let's get you to our NBA Live studios in Orlando and hand it over to Jalen Rose for our EA Sports halftime report. Jalen.
Guys, let's take a look at what went down so far in this one. The Rockets are basically starting 0-0 to start the second half. The long-range shooting has been outstanding, and if they can keep it up, it's going to open up more things for them offensively. Have a look at the leading scorers. The Thunder have themselves a tie after 2 quarters of action. It was their playmaking, the way they gave each other scoring opportunities. That really impresses me. I love seeing unselfish basketball like that. Have a look at the leading scorers.
Game track. Blocks.
All right, let's be honest. Some of these guys have been getting embarrassed tonight with the way their shots are getting blocked. But you can't deny the entertainment value.
Player of the half.
Russell Westbrook has the defense figured out, and his shots are falling for him. That's a lethal combination that will be hard to overcome. Here we go with the top plays from the first half.
Number 2.
you.
All even to the first half of play as we get rolling once again here in the third quarter. The Thunder have the possession. Schroeder to George. Here comes the screen. Can't miss those. Now Paul with the basketball. Tie game, third quarter. Clint Capella. Consistent effort. He's at 50%.
Ed, I'm telling you that every player in the league will make that shot. The defense has to be elevated.
George to Adams. Scores from the post.
There you go. Finally, shoot your shot.
To P.J. Tucker. Short jumper off the mark. Here's Schroeder with it. Our score all even in this third quarter. To Paul George. Here comes the screen. George defended by Tucker. To Schroeder. The Thunder down to 4 on the shot clock. It's in the hands of Harden. Lets it fly from long range. That's off the side of the rim. No good. And the nice finish at the rim.
Great job using that shoulder to create contact with the defender without hesitation.
Paul George. Screen coming. To Schroeder. George. Goes to the left side. George. That one off the mark. It's no good. To Paul. For three. And Chris Paul, veteran move. Well defended. Still buries the three.
And this squad just continues to light it up from long range. One of the things I learned about teams like this, teams that fall in love with three-point shot, as quickly as they built the lead, is as quickly as they can lose it if they're over-reliant on the three-point shot. Ed, you ready for another fun fact about the Houston Rockets?
Let's do it.
Okay, the team was established in 1967 and was given the name the Rockets because San Diego was the home to many space-age manufacturers. When the team eventually moved to Houston, the name still fit, giving Houston's association with NASA.
Wow, so Houston, we have a problem? All of that associated with space? Who knew?
Are you saying that because Carmelo Anthony's in town?
No, Apollo 13.
Oh, okay.
Thunder with the basketball. Missed it. They weren't going to give that to him. To Harden. Sizing up the defense. Harden to Paul. Here's a chance from long range. And Chris Paul, quick catch and shoot there. 4-3.
And they're relentless with these long shots. It just seems like their spacing is perfect, and they come down, they know exactly where they want to be, and they're shooting the ball without hesitation.
Time to adjust. Both coaches making changes on the floor. Westbrook to George. Old school. Backs his man down for the basket. You can try and body him up, but he'll still run right through you.
It's the way he attacks that makes him so dangerous. He chips off a piece of your body one possession at a time. First it's your arm, then it's your leg, and then inevitably it's your soul.
Here's Westbrook controlling the offense. Here comes the screen. Westbrook down to Adams. Big man, Steven Adams. Not a busy night, but effective. 2 for 2. To Harden. Fires the three. Well defended.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball. Let him prove that it wasn't the D. It was more in his own head.
The assist from number 0, Russell Westbrook.
Driving right to the basket. Easy path to the rim. Sometimes it looks like he's not locked in, but think otherwise.
Let's be honest. Sometimes he is not locked in when the ball isn't in his hands. But do you need James Harden to be locked in 100% of the time? No, you need him to be locked in 95% when he has the ball in his hands. That's when something spectacular is going to happen offensively for your team.
And the rebound taken in by OKC. George, Harden's on him. Knocked loose. And count the basket.
Look, there was barely any contact on that last play. I agree with the ref's no call. Let him play.
Russell Westbrook with the rock. Right down the lane, but the shot won't go. That misses with 2 seconds to go. 3 quarters down, the Rockets with the lead. It's the Rockets in control of the basketball as we start the 4th quarter, and they'll be looking to finish strong.
And when you play stingy defense on one end, the other end takes care of itself.
Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a 3-point play.
And I love the smile on the face of the offensive player. Sometimes luck is on your side. I don't know how that shot went in, but and one.
Carmelo Anthony trying to cash in on the 3-point play. Hasn't missed yet. Free throw good to finish off the 3-point play. The lead is up to 5. Russ at the controls. Has a look. Yes, it drops. Little drama on that one.
Look at that, calm under pressure. You see a lot of guys rush those. Nice extra move there.
A lot of contact on that play. He plays through it and scores.
Ed, all this talk I heard over the summer, what about CP3's hamstring? Will he be able to get back his first step? Will he still have it? There you go.
Schroeder matched up with Paul. The drive right to the basket. The shot blocked by Anthony.
You know, sometimes basketball can become a very beautiful thing to watch. During the regular season, things can get difficult. Energy can be low. The passion at times can even be lower because players are tired. They're fatigued. But today, it's all been good. They're putting in an absolute show with killer efficiency and tremendous effort and intensity.
Ferguson slams it down.
That's the intensity you need to see. Whenever a player running back on defense after a dunk like that holds the inside of his forearm, it lets you know how hard he dunked that basketball.
James Harden. He's 3 for 7.
It just seems like one of 3 things happen every time James Harden has the ball. Either he scores, he gets fouled, or he kicks it out to someone for a 3. Pick your poison.
From the painted area, won't go down. Tucker to Anthony. Oh, great pass, setting up the basket.
You know, teams usually shoot higher percentages early in the shot clock. Plus, you take away the legs of the defense. You have to dictate the pace.
Takes it right to the rim. A lot of contact there, but they say no foul.
Look, the most efficient offenses are the ones with the highest number of assists. There are only 5 teams in the league that average 25 assists or more.
Across midcourt, it's Schroeder. The deficit now up to 5. Right time, right player.
Can't teach height.
And the basket good at the rim. Can only imagine how frustrating that is to stop.
It's beyond an arduous task for the defender. I'm getting frustrated even talking about it. Let me tell you 2 reasons why. Number 1, he's been top 5 in the league since the 2012-13 season in free throws attempted per game. That's pretty impressive. Will make any defender hesitant. And number 2, whenever the league implements a rule about you, called the Harden rule, for his knack for drawing cheap fouls, that's going to make any defender have a difficult time guarding Mr. Harden.
Opposing coach is going to counter, make some changes of his own.
Paul George.
Russell Westbrook, guarded by CP3. And he's fouled. Nice move that time, and he's going to the line for 2.
I don't know about that one, Ed. I always thought your hand was part of the ball.
Russell Westbrook, a couple of free throws on the way. He's struggled so far. First try, no good. No good. Missed them both. To Harden. James Harden. With that, he's 5 for 9.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched an epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise.
If that's an epidemic, sign me up. Tucker to Anthony. Cruises inside for 2.
And attention to detail is everything for a professional scorer like that. Actually getting it done the hard way, though.
Westbrook into the front court. His guys down 11. Send it away.
Did you see how far he got up? He kept going up and up and up. I think he's still going up.
Deep 2 there. Won't go. It's Russ at the controls. To Adams. Steven Adams with the slam.
Oh, man, did you see that swiftness? He dunked that thing like a tennis ball.
It looked like that in his hand. Paul. No good. Westbrook across the timeline. His guys down by 9. From the outside, no good.
The most important thing a shooter can do is continue to shoot. The defense is always going to give great effort, but it's more of your psyche that goes into the next shot that will limit you on whether you make the shot or not.
Nerlens Noel. He's got 2 shots coming. Not the best career mark, 62%. Nope. First one does not go. Oh, he missed on a pair. Harden. To Paul. From long range. That's off the side of the rim. Short.
Shooters shoot. Period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep doing what you're doing with that superior confidence.
Return label included.
The offense might want to adjust here. That's his 4th block of the evening.
George lets it fly. Wide open look won't go. To P.J. Tucker. He was smothered and still gets it to go down. The Thunder will use a timeout. They're down big in this fourth quarter, and a chance here to empty their bench. Mixing things up. Hockey line. Substitutions. Both teams making changes. Westbrook buries it on the catch and shoot.
It's easy to get lost in the chaos of the game down the stretch, but great awareness by the shooter to get those toes right behind the three-point line.
Rockets get it back to Harden. Beyond the arc for three, and he stays cold from deep as he misses another one. It's no good.
Just because you're an elite shooter doesn't mean you need to shoot the ball every possession. Maybe give a head fake, crack into the defender, get to the free throw line, see the ball go in the hole.
They're trying by Westbrook, but his shot stays out. The foul won't go either. Here's the whistle. Intentional foul.
Okay, now look over to the sideline and see what the staff is trying to draw up on the next play. That's good clock management thus far.
That's a 5-second violation. Ferguson. Great feed. Sets it up.
Oh, he sent that one to the third row.
He was locked in. That was impressive. Clint Capella. 3 for 6 now. Oh, Capella up to block it.
Here's one of the biggest secrets as we move into this new age of basketball, especially in the draft room. You have to draft players with size and length. That's the biggest deterrent for any team offensively.
Late heave to beat the buzzer. It's the Rockets who are victorious as they win this one handily. For Jay Williams and all our crew, I'm Ed Cohen saying so long for now. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports.
Here we go with the EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Rockets got themselves a win here today. Sometimes a team can hurt itself by being too aggressive on defense. And sometimes a team can guarantee itself a win by using defensive aggression in a focused way, like we saw here today. The Thunder put up a fight, but didn't get their hands raised at the end. I'm sure they can't help but feel frustrated with the result, but they can't let that feeling linger. Sooner than later, they need to start thinking about the next matchup. Check out the leading scores for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Game track. Three-point shooting.
The Houston Rockets did their best work away from the basket. They used a combination of perimeter defense and long-range scoring to get themselves the win.
Player of the game.
Chris Paul read the defense perfectly, and his teammates reaped the benefits with easy baskets.
Who was cold?
Every player that makes it to the NBA is a great athlete, but even the best players have their off nights. Today was just one of those days for this guy. Here we go with the top plays.
Number 2. Number 1.
On behalf of ESPN on EA Sports, I'm Jalen Rose. We look forward to seeing you again next time.
Good evening from Houston, Texas. I'm Ed Cohen with Jay Williams. And Jay, this city home to the eighth wonder of the world, the Astrodome. We'll see on the floor who stands out tonight.
I don't know about that, Ed. I may have to disagree with you on that. The eighth wonder of the world is the Red Rowdies. Let's get loud. Let's represent. Houston Rockets, what time is it?
They are certainly impressive. Let's do this in Houston. Jay, when Westbrook has the ball, you know you can expect magic on the floor. The question everybody is trying to answer, can Russell Westbrook lead the Thunder to the promised land?
He can, but he needs to take his game to new heights, and that comes with leadership. Everybody knows that he's a triple-double waiting to happen each and every night. He's done that consecutively for 2 years now in the NBA, the only player in the history of the league to do so. He's that fantastic of a player. I love the passion he plays with Ed, but he needs to get his teammates way more involved. When you have a guy like Paul George or Carmelo Anthony, you have to make them better. Look how CP3 and James Harden, Eric Gordon, Ryan Anderson, Clint Capella, they all make each other better. There's something missing chemistry-wise from the Thunder.
Man, are these two franchises invariably linked. Harden goes from Oklahoma City to Houston. Carmelo Anthony wanted to land in Houston. He gets traded by the Knicks to Oklahoma City. Go figure.
And I'll be willing to say this too, Ed. I think Carmelo Anthony would be a way better player if he were playing for the Rockets than him playing for OKC right now.
Harden throws it up, throws it down off the alley-oop pass. So far, so good.
Didn't take long to get this crowd on their feet, and one of the most undervalued things in sports, the 13th man, the fans. If they get you going in the game, they can help you sustain that energy.
Adams, Harden's on him. Westbrook to Adams. Steven Adams with the slam.
I don't think I could do that on a 5-foot rim.
I can, because that's my only choice. Rockets in control of the basketball. Harden to Anthony. Who left in Houston? Luka Mute to the Clippers, Trevor Ariza to Phoenix. So, Jay, how do the Rockets adapt without two key wing defenders this year?
Well, other guys need to step up. I think you need to see P.J. Tucker step up. Gerald Green, we all know how explosive he is offensively, but he needs to make that applicable to the defensive end. Michael Carter-Williams is another big acquisition. He's a bigger guard who can use his length to deter shots. And also another kid, Markel Brown. He played at Oklahoma State, extremely athletic, explosive on the perimeter. If these guys can do it by committee, that might be enough to eclipse the Golden State Warriors.
Harden picked up by Adams. Oh, highlight moves. Tough to pull off with the defender all over you. George lets it fly. Gets a look. Can't hit. Paul to Anthony. To Paul. Five seconds to shoot. Chance for Paul. Can't connect. Defense did its job that time.
You see, Ed, this is what the refs need to start calling. The defender hit the shooter right around the waist, which made him lunge into a shot and took away all of his concentration for it.
Paul across the timeline, trailing by 4. To Harden. And he's fouled, and he earns a trip to the line.
Trust me, you want to avoid early foul trouble. Take that one as a warning.
First one goes down. Can't connect on the second, and he splits the pair. The drive by Westbrook, but a shot stays out.
That's superb defense. That's a defense getting there from the weak side early and making the player short arm a shot.
And a putback slam.
Woo, that's nasty right there.
To Westbrook. Has a look. Missed it. Not much more you can ask for from the defense there.
It's so important to instill confidence in your best player. I know he missed a shot earlier, but that doesn't mean that you can't run the same exact play and let him prove he's a player he thinks he is, and we all know he is.
The assist from number 7, Carmelo.
Here's Westbrook controlling the offense. Oh, Russell Westbrook. 2 of 4 now.
You see, you can't actually get mesmerized by the ball. You actually have to focus on the dribbler's belly button. I know that may sound cheesy, but trust me, he can't go anywhere without his core.
Harden to P.J. Tucker. Slams it home on the putback.
And I got a chance to hear a lot of the conversation at the bench. And one of the things they called out was owning the backboards. Looks like the message is really getting through.
48 wins a year ago for the Thunder. Jay, it took them a while to get to that point, but in so many ways, the Thunder had a great opportunity in the playoffs.
They did. It just seemed like something with their chemistry was a tad bit off with Carmelo Anthony. I think him not being there, him not being in Houston, them getting Andre Robertson back. He's a big-time lockdown defender on the perimeter. You surround him with youth and Hamidou Diallo, Terrence Ferguson, Alex Abrines. This team has a chance to compete for a Western Conference Finals.
Westbrook to the basket, but his shot won't fall.
And a lot of times in this league, teams take days off. But if this defense keeps maintaining that style of pace defensively, this is going to be a dogfight.
Anthony, defended by Nerlens Noel. Right time, right player.
Can't teach height.
It's Russ at the controls. To Paul George. A bad pass as the Rockets come away with it. Tucker against George. Another chance. Tucker gets it down to Capella. Shot from the lane won't go.
And physicality is your friend. Don't let these guys get any easy ones down low. Make them look at the refs, wondering where the foul was every time.
Russell Westbrook, defended by Tucker. Just inside the arc, at the buzzer. So the Rockets with the lead after one at Toyota Center. Jay and I back with more after this. You're watching the NBA on EA Sports. One quarter in the books. This has the potential to be a good one.
I know you're wondering why I'm clapping. Both teams came out in the first quarter and they executed. When do you ever see that, Ed? You have to continue to bring those competitive juices into the second quarter, and we're going to have one heck of a ball game.
Here comes the screen. Here's CP3. Knocks it down off the step back.
It looks like he's using his ball handling to feel the game out. I know it looks like he's just playing around out there trying to get the fans going. That is true, but he's also finding his rhythm.
To George. Down to Grant. To Schroeder. That's blocked by Capella.
That kid can block out the sun, Ed.
Tucker to Paul. And they called the foul. Jay, he was there too late.
I don't know about that one, Ed. I always thought your hand was part of the ball.
Chris Paul has got 2 shots coming. A career 86% from the line. And hits the first free throw. Goes 2 for 2. The Thunder have the possession. Schroeder to Paul George. Schroeder to George. For 3. Not going down here. Paul with it up top. Up 5. Gets it in the right corner. It's rejected.
Oh, he just blocked that shot out of bounds.
Jay, they're lucky they get the ball back. We have both squads set to make some moves right now. Harden. Ooh, Chris Paul. He is shooting well. He's made 2/3 of his shots.
When the ball's in his hands, We all knew what was going to happen.
Carmelo Anthony traded, but Sam Presti turns that into Dennis Schroeder, now on a team built to win.
And I love this acquisition by the Thunder. When you think about Schroeder, he is actually almost the opposite of what Russell Westbrook is. He averaged 19 points, 6.5 assists last year for the Hawks, but he is not a ball-dominant guard.
Flushes down the slam.
Harden and Capella run the two-man game as well as anybody. If you collapse on Harden, a lot of times Capella can roll, knock down that mid-range, but it does help when you surround these two guys with great shooters on the perimeter.
Russell Westbrook here against Nene. To Adams. From the outside, no good. Paul against the former MVP. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Ooh, Chris Paul. That's 3 now on 4 shots.
And in today's game, you have to make shots like that. Nice work draining it from deep.
Westbrook. From the painted area, won't go down. Tucker matched up with Paul George. Nene with the dunk. He climbed the ladder on that one.
Well, the question is, how big is the ladder? He's still climbing.
Russ at the controls. Noel shot, no good. Now Paul with the basketball. The lead is 12. Wide open look, won't go.
Oh, I like that. You got the defense rotating from side to side. They're even recovering late, but still you got to make that one.
Westbrook. And the rebound pulled in by Capella. Paul into the front court. Counting down toward a minute to go in this first half. Ferguson to Adams. It's rejected by Tucker.
Sent a message on that one, Ed.
Ferguson to Adams. That's blocked by Nene.
Ed, that's light work for a guy with his ability.
Harden. And look out. Big finish at the rim.
Well, when you play for each other and not just for yourself, that's when great things happen. You essentially lose yourself in what the team is trying to accomplish. It's called unselfish basketball. And there's nothing more beautiful than rewarding your teammate with a nice pass and letting them finish for 2 or 3 points.
Mixing things up. Hockey line substitutions. Both teams making changes. Schroeder picked up by Paul. Westbrook to Adams. Nice pace, sets it up, and slams it down. Jay, you know the deal. Keep the touches coming inside.
As long as that defense continues to give you high percentage shots, you better take that every time.
Paul picked up by Adams. Ooh, Chris Paul. 4 out of 7.
Ed, all this talk I heard over the summer, what about CP3's hamstring? Will he be able to get back his first step? Will he still have it? There you go.
Now a steal as the Rockets have it. Trying to cash in, and he drains it.
The assist from number 13, James.
Deep 3 at the buzzer. A very one-sided first half of basketball as we are at halftime. Let's get you to Orlando, where we say hello to Jalen Rose in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Jalen.
your halftime report. The Rockets entered the locker room at halftime with a significant lead. It was their playmaking, the way they gave each other scoring opportunities. That really impresses me. I love seeing unselfish basketball like that. These are the guys getting buckets for the Houston Rockets. The Thunder have got themselves in a bad situation that seems likely to only get worse.
At this point, it's all about pride and mental toughness. A comeback is not impossible, but it's also not likely.
Have a look at the leading scorers for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Game track. Missed threes. Player of the half.
The film speaks for itself. He's definitely the player of the half. Now he just got to give an encore to get his team to win.
Who was cold?
What can you say about a guy like this? Except that he fits the title of this segment. He was definitely cold in that first half. Here we go with the top plays from the first half.
Number 2. Number 1.
All right, back to the second half. I'll see you after the game.
Jay, last year, Rockets 65-17. Good for #1 record in the West. What's going to be good enough this year for the Rockets to get to the NBA Finals?
Well, you need CP3 to be healthy. If he's healthy, you can make an argument that the Rockets may have won the Western Conference Finals against the Golden State Warriors. But also, I think James Harden needs to continue to build on his play in the playoffs in particular. Everybody knows about how great he was during the regular season. But those last 6 games against the Golden State Warriors, he really struggled from the three-point line. He shot 37% during the regular season. He shot 20% in the Western Conference Finals.
George. 4-3. He's got it for 3.
Look, I'm not the one to hate. I'm the prime example of a bad decision that turned out well.
It's Rockets ball. Anthony here against Jeremy Grant. To Capella. Count the basket inside.
Ed, I have so much admiration for guys that continue to hunt their shot. They're playing the second half like it was the first 5 minutes of the ball game. Those natural-born leaders are guys that will consistently lead your team to the promised land.
George, defended by Tucker. Here comes the screen. Paul George. It's been a quiet night. Only 3 attempts, but he makes that one stick.
Might have had an extra dribble or 2 there, but he got the shot he wanted.
Tucker sizing up Jeremy Grant. Here comes the screen. Paul to Capella. And the rebound comes to OKC. George. Yes, it drops. Little drama on that one. At his size on the wing, that's a tough matchup on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, let me tell you about why he's so great defensively. He gets up into you and forces you one way. Does not give you an option to dance with the basketball. That wingspan, that frame, that size, that strength, and that lateral quickness. Oh, there's no getting by Mr. George.
Westbrook into the front court. Down by 15. PG lets it fly. Won't go. He needs some luck on his side given how they're defending.
You know, Ed, everybody gives so much credit to the guy who contested the shot, but there's no way he's in that position without the communication of the backbone of the defense. When you have a guy back there who can block shots and tells you to apply more pressure, you know you're in a safe place.
P.J. Tucker at the line for a chance at a three-point play. A career 74% free throw shooter. Free throw good to cap off the three-point play as they continue to open things up here in the third quarter. Westbrook with the basketball. Looking to make something happen. Paul George to Westbrook. Nothing going here on that drive. Paul George, 4-2. Can't connect.
It's easy. Force guys into low percentage shots. That's the reason why we're big into stats. It was all provided to you before the game in the scouting report.
Paul, pass down low to Carmelo. The shot blocked by Grant.
Don't stare him down like that afterwards.
Not that time. He misses. Westbrook into the front court. Down a bundle.
In the third quarter.
To Paul George. Nothing going here on that drive. Paul George. He's 3 for 7.
The one thing we know for certain in this league, it doesn't matter how big the margin is, you can always put together a run and get back in this one.
And now Houston has the basketball. Here comes the screen. Anthony against Adams. Probing the defense. Nothing going here on that drive. Anthony knocks it down. And Jay, so much better to get that shot beyond the arc than inside 22 feet. Jay, mixed opinions with Carmelo Anthony. How will you remember his career?
Well, as of right now, he's a catch-and-shoot type player. But for me personally, Carmelo Anthony will go down as one of the greatest isolation players of all time. Back in his Denver days, his earlier New York Knicks days, there was nobody better in an isolated set than CA.
Jay, without question, one of the biggest moments of the NBA offseason. Paul George, he chooses the Thunder. He stays in OKC.
And how about what Paul George said? He said, it's a perfect opportunity to submit myself and bring a championship where it has never been brought. And I think him and Russ work well off each other. Playoff P wants to be Playoff P all the time. Who better to bring that out of you than the Beast Boy?
Time to adjust. Both coaches making changes on the floor. George, and he buries it.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
Knight into the front court. His guys hold a commanding lead. Nene. Here comes the screen. Gordon, guarded by Terrence Ferguson. Oh, emphatic slam. Whoa, he got up there.
Just showing you that 40-inch vertical.
Oklahoma City ball. George matched up with Nene. Ball's loose. Look at him on the deck. And there's the whistle. Neither player giving up an inch. We have a tie-up. They're in position. Let's see who can retain it. Shot from the lane won't go. To P.J. Tucker. Has a chance. It's George with the rebound. Had a good look there, but it's no good. Has a look. Cleans the offensive glass. That ends the third quarter. It's been all Rockets. The Thunder have it to start the fourth quarter, and not a whole lot you could do in this situation other than give it your best shot.
And players don't like to hear this, Ed, but the reality of the matter is this is a character-building opportunity. Yes, you may lose this game, but that does not mean that you do not fight each and every possession.
Gordon with it. His guys holding the big lead. Anthony picked up by Patrick Patterson. That's what you like to see off the pick and roll. Nice, easy basket. At this point, if it continues, it just may be good night, Irene.
And ooh, I like that Irene line.
There you go, Jay.
And sometimes as a player on the defensive end, Ed, you need to draw a line in the sand. You have to find a way to change the narrative. Because right now, the constant theme has been too many easy buckets.
Jay, don't deny it. You're an old soul at heart.
Yeah, I still don't know who Irene is, though.
Me neither. Gordon with it. He'll run the offense. Drives, but a shot won't go down.
And one of the most underrated things in this game is quick lateral speed. Good job by utilizing that speed and taking away the lane.
The assist from number 0, Russell Westbrook.
Nene. Screen coming. Gordon matched up with Noel. From long range, cleans it up. Another shot stays out. Across midcourt, it's Schroeder. His guys down big. Flushes it home.
And when you get your prescription, you take your medicine and you call it a day.
Number 17, Dennis Schroeder.
I got ball.
To Anthony. Fires the three. Textbook Melo. Hand in his face. Lets it fly. And scores.
Man, you making people dance out there? I see you with the footwork.
Now a whistle. And we're going to get a timeout from OKC as they'll make sure they're all on the same page here in the fourth quarter. Both coaches hitting the reset button. Fresh legs coming onto the floor.
Number 3, Chris Paul. Subbing in.
No.
Number 12, Steven Adams.
To Paul. Shot from in close, no good. Westbrook to George. Going to launch beyond the arc.
That'll be a winning formula in overtime every time. Answer a 2 on one end with a 3 on the other. Ed, tell me if I'm wrong, but I think a 3 is more than a 2, correct?
That is great math, my friend. Anthony matched up with Patrick Patterson. Yes, Carmelo Anthony. He's now shooting 5 for 7.
We're watching the clinic right now. We're watching basketball one-on-one. Whoever this professor is, he needs to get paid top dollar.
Russell Westbrook, guarded by Carmelo Anthony. To Paul George. Westbrook to George. Beyond the arc for 3. That no good, off the mark.
And there's always so much talk about defense. How about offensively? If you continue to attack that shooter, now you're making him work on the defensive end. That makes him take his legs away on the offensive end.
Nothing going here on that drive. Anthony had made his first couple, but he misses there.
Shooters shoot, period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep doing what you're doing with that superior confidence.
Oh, Russell Westbrook, 4 out of 10.
Did you see the way that dribble freed him up? It created so much space. I did, but the defender didn't.
Anthony buries it. Knowing Carmelo Anthony, the competitor, you know he wants to do the same things as he was doing 5 years ago. Can he?
Well, the answer easy is no. Your mind is telling you yes, but your body is saying the exact opposite. The next step for Carmelo Anthony is to understand that he needs to keep it simple. He's a catch-and-shoot player, help provide spacing and open up that lane for other players to attack.
Shifting gears, here comes some substitutions. George.
Number 9, Jeremy Grant.
Westbrook to Paul George. OKC now with 4 to shoot. George. Oh, that's how it's done.
I love the pure confidence on that jumper. He takes that three despite the defender being right in front of his face. That's borderline disrespectful.
Harden matched up with Ferguson. To Anthony. Rockets with 4 to shoot. Just off the mark.
It's so important to instill confidence in your best player. I know he missed a shot earlier, but that doesn't mean that you can't run the same exact play and let him prove he's a player he thinks he is, and we all know he is.
It's the Rockets who are victorious as they win this one handily. That'll wrap things up. For Jay Williams and our entire crew, I'm Ed Cohen. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports.
David Rose here, and I've got your EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Rockets came away with the victory in this one. And the way they attacked the rim was outstanding. Not only is the dunk a high percentage shot, it's also a great way to test the confidence of the defense. Here are the guys who put up the most points for the Houston Rockets. The Thunder couldn't put it together to get the victory here today. And even though some of them smiled and shook hands with the other guys after the game, you can tell by the way they headed to the tunnels how disappointed they were about this loss. Check out the leading scores for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Game track. Points in the paint.
The Oklahoma City Thunder were simply unable to avoid being soft on defense when the ball went inside the paint. Why they couldn't rotate properly, I don't know. They simply got outworked in this matchup. Their lack of interior defense was most obvious in the first half.
Player of the game.
I like this choice because he really put on a show in this game. There's a reason he's a fan favorite. Top plays, and we've got 3 of them for you.
Number 2. Number 1.
On behalf of ESPN on EA Sports, I'm Dana Rose, and it's been our pleasure to present you with some NBA basketball.